I'm going to make this video today for one reason. I wasn't going to talk about this, but Marvel Future Revolution is currently very heavily pumping their content creator corps. They're trying to get people to join it actively. It's on their Twitter, it's on their forums, it's on their Discord. I was just going to let this one go, but they're trying to get their hooks into other YouTubers and content creators right now. And I'm going to remove the wool from the sheep's eyes, as it were, on this one. For the people that still don't believe me this is a bad contract, here it is. I got the contract. Let me actually break it down and show you, and then you can decide for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, today what I would like to do is give a massive warning for other YouTubers or YouTubers who are starting out that might be excited to join the Content Creators Corp program. In this video, I'm going to lay down both in technical legality terms why this contract is factually bad for you to sign as a YouTuber who has any faith in yourself when it comes to producing your content, as well as why you don't need any other person other than yourself to make content successfully. I would like to break down why, in fact, this contract gives all of the benefit to the company themselves and leave you with significantly, let's use the term, wanting for more. They do actually offer you some rewards for signing this contract, namely 6,000 gems per month in game, about $100 worth of value approximately. And they also give you an in-game title, which is pretty cool, and some art and access to other things. Now, let's break down a few things in particular. I don't believe you need $100 a month in in-game currency in order to make good content. I think there's perfectly fine people out there making content that are 100% free to play. I also think there's plenty of people, Godslave comes to mind, that spend tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars, and they don't necessarily care about $100 a month when it comes to content creator corps anyway. And in my opinion, offering somebody who spent that much money on your game and is making content on the high end of that type of stuff, $100 is kind of a joke anyway. Now let's go ahead and continue when it goes into looking at the table of contents, and let's get into some less speculation opinion stuff and some more actual factual, this is in the contract type of information. If we scroll down here and we look, Content Creator Corps, it talks about this, and this is the contract they offered me. So if you're wondering where I got my hands on this contract was directly sent to my darthmicrotransaction@gmail.com, and they tried to get me to sign this contract, which of course I did not. They talk about the Content Creator Corps, the eligibility, the member benefits, etc. Now, if you look in the member benefits, they say from time to time, we may offer members free game items and other opportunities. They don't go into any speculation in terms of what exactly these may be or the cadence of such. Instead, they've said they'll give 6,000 gems a month. And they also said from time to time they may give items. Now, I have been in other content creator type of programs before. Typically, they do this for the reason that the larger ones, the ones that are getting the most views, typically could get the most. If I had signed this, I definitely could have used leverage to try to get the most out of anybody in the game. I probably could have got basically anything I wanted into the game to get you an idea. It wasn't too hard in some of the other games to get free resources. And in some of these other games, this has literally been going on for years. You can get free resources in this type of games depending upon how much you advertise for their game, basically. Now, you may not like that is what happens in these games, but that is a fact. That does actually happen in these games. Feel about it how you may, but that is transparency. I'm not saying the morals of it. I'm just telling you what happens as a YouTuber, because I believe it's better for the public to know everything than it is for them to know nothing, because personally, I think if you tell your audience everything that happens, they will choose to support you and basically rewards you for your honesty is the way I see it. And that's tend to be how I stand when it comes to these type of things, which is why as we break down and go into further, I further recommend people not signing this, because let's get into this. Your content and code of conduct. Okay. You agree to comply the fan content policy in Section 6 herein as may be amended herein from time to time. So you are agreeing to Section 6, even the parts that are not written yet. Okay. So Section 6 is the fan content policy, aka the policy in which stands how we talk about their game. This is basically all of the content in which we make about their game, how we handle it. Now, I'm not going to read it in its entirety. This was actually how to put it, both the part I liked as well as hated, okay? Reason being, they have a few things in here that I like, which is you may not state or imply that your fan content is endorsed or sponsored by Netmarble. This is true. They're not paying us for this. We're content creators, but we're not endorsed or sponsored by Netmarble, and I like that they distinguish that, actually. However, they require you put this as unofficial fan content created by the fan content policy of Netmarble. Netmarble and its licensors have not otherwise approved or endorsed, are not responsible for this content. Portions of material used are property of Netmarble and or its licensors. They have this in here for both removal of YouTube reasons, basically meaning if you state in here portions of material used are property of Netmarble and its licensors, you're basically stating as a YouTuber they have a right to remove your video at any time. You're stating that you are effectively breaking copyright. This is not what happens in games when you use them, actually. They can remove it for using copyright and all that. But there's also an argument in the law that's passed before about reaction-based content of things, where you actually are adding to a source content and essentially creating it your own. There is legal gray room for this, as well as there's a precedent within the U.S. court, from my understanding, for this. This statement not only removes your ability to have any legal precedent, it also gives Netmarble the entirety of the power when it comes to individual videos. Now, that is not why I was upset by this. I might have still been okay with this copy-pasted thing in it as just a general blanket statement in every single video. It also hurts your SEO to do all of this too, which is bad, but I might have been okay with all of this. Okay, let's move on here. You may not use networks, logos, tie those brands, etc. Basically, everyone who has Marvel Future Revolution in their name will have to change their name. This is Legacy Marvel Future Revolution, Free to Play Marvel Future Revolution, Cynical Alex, who was Marvel Future Revolution. Me, I would have to have changed my name. This is one of the other reasons I didn't do it. Not only that, but this is standard practice. People like T90 have 270,000 subscribers with the name Age of Empires 2 in their name. This is standard YouTube practice. This is so people can find and identify channels. This isn't anything sinister, and the only reason they're doing this is because they want to differentiate content that says what they don't like from what they say, basically. That's the reason for this. Okay, moving on here. The rest of this is basically fan content. You have to say that, you don't own it, you won't alter it, blah, 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 blah. These are all copyright coverings. These aren't a big deal, okay? Here you go. Prohibited content's all fine. This is basically you can't do anything that's racist, sexist, violates others' rights, etc. This is also another thing that I'm okay with, except that it is, check this out. This here removes the ability to do a whole bunch of sponsorships because they now get the ability to deem as unlawful, inappropriate, obscene, sexually explicit, defamatory, offensive, objectionable, damaging, disparaging, or harmful to others. Now, as determined by a violation of the rights of others, including without limitation, third parties' intellectual property and proprietary rights. This also means you can't plug things like BlueStacks. So if you sign this as a YouTuber, you are waiving your right to use other promotions that are relevant to this game. They don't allow to do website links that are objectionable. Okay, well, objectionable is a subjective legal term to basically be anything. They can object to whatever they want. Moving along here, unsolicited content. Please not send your unsolicited fan content and your ideas for our games. They will be deleted without review. Basically, they don't care about your feedback. Okay, please not send your unsolicited fan content on your ideas for our games. They will be deleted without review. They don't care. They literally say it in the contract. They will delete without review your feedback. They say it right here. So if you think you're going to matter, you don't. Netmarble's right to your fan content. Here you go. This is it. You agree we may use, copy, modify, transmit, display, publish, make derivative works of, and exploit, commercially or otherwise, your fan content in any form on a royalty-free, non-exclusive, irrevocable, perpetual, transferable, sublicensable world basis for any purpose and without paying you further consideration or compensation of any kind. You further waive any claims that the use of your fan content violates any of your rights, including moral rights, privacy rights, That word's rights, publicity rights, rights to credit you as a creator of the fan content, right to approve your fan content is used, in any other rights. They can literally take your content, edit the words you say, put it up so it literally edits anything they want into what you said, put it up and say, he said this unedited and he loves it, and they are legally right to do that and make money off of them doing that. Not only that, but they can take any of the content you make, do anything they want with it, and have rights to that, and give it to anyone else they want, including other companies. So not only are you signing for Marvel Future Revolution, you're signing to Netmarvel and all of Netmarvel's other business relationships, not even subsidiaries. They can transfer these rights to anyone they deem worthy of owning your rights, regardless of if it's relevant to the situation or not. Meaning they can transfer this to people that literally don't like you if they want to, just to have them fuck you over. If you don't think bad things happen in business, they do. I know plenty of bad things that happen in business that a lot of other content creators and content creator, people that manage content creators have told me about things that go into businesses, okay? There's a lot of shady shit that happens, all right? And do you want to give the company Netmarvel this access? And forget about somebody like me, I have a main channel. Like, I don't want to give them access to this or any of the other stuff. It doesn't give them access to my channel. It gives them access to my rights of imagery. That's everything I ever do for the rest of my life. Everything. It doesn't matter. I could close these channels down, start a new channel, and they can use those rights and give it to whoever they want. This is a very bad legal contract to sign. This is hilariously bad. Not only that, but I mean, that's not all of it. I could continue to go on here about talking about termination. Basically, they can terminate at any time, and the rights that they have expired, like the stuff they have to do for you expire, but the stuff where they own your rights don't expire, for instance. There is a big issue. And then, of course, confidentiality, etc., all of that right in here, which, by the way, I didn't sign this. So thanks for showing me your contract, but I don't care. Aberration notice. By participating in the program, you acknowledge that you have read these terms, including Aberration, Class Act, and waiver described in Section 14, agreed to abide by them as they may be amended from time to time in their sole discretion. So if we go to 14, and we look at 14, agreement to arbitration. Read the following paragraphs, okay? So arbitration is effectively business therapy. Arbitration is for when two people or people within a company or two different companies effectively are having a dispute and they need to resolve this dispute. Now, the way the arbitration is going to be disputed, if you agree here, you agree any arbitration will be conducted on an individual basis and not in the class, collective, consolidated, representative proceeding. You acknowledge and agree there. You're waiving the right to a trial by jury or the participate as a plaintiff or class member in any purported class or representative proceedings. So, not only do we sign all of the things here, but if you end up having any problems with the thing you did sign and you want to get out of it, you waive that right too. That's part of what the word irrevocable means in some of the previous statements. This is, I don't use this term very often because I think it's kind of a meme and I hate using it. But this is predatory. If I've ever seen a thing a mobile gaming company has ever done, this is predatory. If you sign this, you are fundamentally saying my faith in myself, my channel, and my ability to be able to build a business is worth $100 a month. And I need 6,000 gems because that's all I think I'm worth. And I also think that's all I'm going to be able to get out of my business for the rest of my life. Signing this is akin to signing something worse than an MCN, which is a multi-channel network that basically does the same thing, gives them all your rights and money that you make too. The only difference with this is they don't take your money, they just take all your rights, which basically rights have to do with how you make your money. So in my personal opinion, this is a joke, this is offensive, and I'm not the largest content creator who said no to this. There's a lot of content creators who laughed about this. And I read this, but I didn't even realize how bad this was to another larger content creator explained it to me. One who has a lawyer as a friend was able to break this down for me a little bit further. Okay, so I looked into this more, and this is an absolute fucking joke. This is an insult for Netmarble even to offer the people, and is fundamentally trying to basically say we have rights to everything everyone does on our platform. This is the worst contract I've ever seen. Do not sign this if you have any faith in your own ability. Only sign this if you think, I don't care, I'll never be making content for the next 80 years of my existence. I want some free gems to scam Netmarble out of that. They'll give me the in-game title because that way I'll look like I have a bigger dick because that's all I care about. That's basically what this is. Congratulations if you do it. Do not sign this horseshit.